Loneliness is something I understand. Being married and having 2 kids and hardly ever moments alone doesn't mean I don't understand it. I do. Growing up, I was the shy, quiet kid. I was the kid who would know the answers to a teacher's questions, but who would never raise her hand. I was the kid who in high school dreaded taking a class that none of my friends were in, because I would get there before the bell rang, sat down, and go, what do I do? What do I do? So I'd quick act like I was busy doing something else so that no one would see that I didn't know who to talk to. I still do this today. I will find a task and I will engross myself in it so that I don't have to think about who do I talk to? What do I say? In high school, I learned that some people thought I was kind of snobby because I didn't talk often. And in reality, I wasn't trying to be a snob. It was just a defense mechanism. I didn't really want people to see my insecurities, and I didn't want them to know that I didn't have a clue how to connect with them. So I would clam up, and it turned out I looked like I was acting like I was a snob. Instead of me trying to reach out to somebody, I just kind of withdrew, and it gave them the impression that I thought I was too good to talk to them, when in reality, that's not how I felt at all. In youth group, when I was about a junior and senior in high school, I started to dread going because the people I had hung out with all the previous years had kind of scattered and spread and weren't involved anymore. There was a whole bunch of younger kids than me, and then there were a few kids my age who we'd never had really clicked before, and they were kind of doing their own thing, and I was not part of their group. So going to youth group was something that I didn't even want to do. I didn't want to go because I didn't want to go see all the clusters of people sitting with their friends and me wonder, where am I going to sit? I've been at this church for years and I've been in this youth group for years, and yet I don't have a clue who to talk to. I felt very alone. And so I didn't know how to break in. I just thought, maybe I shouldn't go. When I was a kid, I didn't like to play Barbies with other kids because whenever I would play with other girls, they would often boss me around and tell me what to do, and I didn't like that. But I was too shy, too scared to stand up for myself, so I ended up with the role that I didn't want when playing house and when playing school. So when it came to Barbies, I drew the line and I just decided I'll play Barbies only by myself. I won't play with other people because then no one can tell me what to do. No one can tell me my ideas are silly. I can do it my way. And so I learned that if I want things my way, I have to do it alone. And even now, that still carries over. I often just automatically hand Scott the TV remote whenever he comes home. It's not that he demands it. It's not that he is a TV remote hog. But I know that I'm going to let him watch what he wants. And if I want to watch something, I'm not likely to tell him. I'm more likely to go in the other room to watch what I want rather than say it to him. And I know that's a silly thing, and he's probably rolling his eyes as he hears this thinking, why? I would turn the TV to what she wanted. But in my case, I felt like growing up, if I want what I want, I have to do it alone. Isolation has become a natural for me. On top of being shy, I'm also an introvert. On my day off, the thought of just curling up with a good book is just wonderful. The thought of hanging out with a large group of people, it sounds like work to me. And I always feel like I have to defend that to people who are extroverts, because I feel like they think I must be weird, or I'm a nerd, or I'm not normal. I feel like I have to justify the fact that I need downtime. I'm not an antisocial person, but I do need time alone. Many times in social settings I feel awkward. I don't know what to say. I don't know who to hang out with. And so sometimes it's easier for me to just decline going somewhere because I'd rather go home and feel by myself than go out with a group of people and find myself in a situation where I'm not talking to anyone and no one's talking to me, and I don't know what to say or who to talk to. And for all you extroverts, for a shy, introverted person, just starting a conversation with someone, it's a lot easier said than it is done. Being shy and introverted can make it difficult to make friends. I'm one of those people. I'm like a turtle. I'm slow to come out of my shell and open up to people, and then I'm really quick to pull back if I sense anything that's going to threaten my security, I guess. I really battle insecurity when it comes to making friends. I devalue myself. I think, what do I have to offer that person? Why would they want to be friends with me? What could I possibly offer them that they don't already have? Why would they need me in their life? Why should I pursue being her friend? And I justify, I'm so busy, and I make myself extra busy so that I don't have to think about it. And I tell myself, oh, well, everybody else is just as busy as me. They don't have time to make friends. They don't have time to connect with me. And I feel really clueless when it comes to connecting. Being able to move from small talk to a real, deep, serious conversation is a struggle. In fact, even having small talk is really hard for me. I'm always clueless on what to ask, what to say, how to get the conversation going. And Scott has the really great ability of being able to find a connecting point with someone, usually in less than a minute. He finds something that they can connect on. I can know someone for years and not feel like I've ever connected with them. And I always think that if I can't connect, if I can't build a conversation, how can I build a relationship? Not being able to do that means fewer friends, fewer close confidants, and it can lead to isolation and loneliness. When life is going well, it doesn't really matter how many friends or how many close confidants I have. I just keep on going on my merry way and act like everything's okay. I push away thoughts of loneliness. I ignore them and tell myself to look at all the good in life. But when life is hard, you can't ignore the loneliness anymore. And at that point, it's too late. When I'm having a bad, rough time, I can't reach out because I think to myself, who really wants to deal with this needy emotional wreck? Who wants to help me pick up my pieces of a broken, messed up life? No one even knows my pieces. How can they help me pick them up, even if they really did want to? In the movie Titanic, the character Rose says, I feel as though I'm standing in the middle of a crowded room, screaming at the top of my lungs, and no one even bothers to look up. I understand that. That's what loneliness feels like to me. Being surrounded by people who don't even notice. Loneliness. Isolation.